news, former Penn State assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky leaves on Center County Courthouse after being sentenced in his child sex abuse case on October 9th of 2012. Here's a look at the Penn State sexual abuse scandal. On November 4th of 2011, a grand jury report was released containing testimony that former Penn State defensive coordinator Jerry Sandusky sexually abused 8 young boys over a period of at least 15 years. Even officials at Penn State failed to notify law enforcement after learning about some of these incidents. On December 7th of 2011, the number of victims increased to 10. There were numerous gains and losses in this tragic event. Jerry Sandusky himself was married and had several children who were foster children, all adopted. He also created the Second Mile, which is a group foster home for troubled boys, a nonprofit initially founded by Sandusky in 1977, but also grew into an organization that helps young people to achieve their potential as individuals and community members. Even according to CNN News and James Callahan, a janitor at Penn State tells his supervisor and another janitor that he saw Sandusky sexually abusing a young boy in the Lash building showers. No one reports the incidents, not even the university, to law enforcement. Cases, numerous may I add, were reported, and when it came to courts, he was released on $100,000 bonds to even $250,000 bonds, getting away with his dirty secret, and when they were unreported, it was swept under the rug. In an interview with the New York Times, Sandusky says, "If I say no, I'm not attracted to young boys, that's not the truth, because I'm attracted to young people, boys and girls." Yet it still was years until this case, or should I say cases, were solved. Louis Freeh announces the findings of the investigation into Penn State's actions concerning Sandusky and child abuse. The report accuses the former leaders at Penn State of showing total and consistent disregard for child sex abuse victims while covering up the attacks of a longtime sexual predator.
And other questions have emerged. What did officials around him know, and what did they do? This is Joe Becker of the New York Times. I sat down with Sandusky several times this week at the home of his lawyer, Joseph Amendola. We spoke not only about the allegations and the university, but also about Second Mile, the charity he founded, and his feelings toward the children that it served. Portions of my interview were captured on camera, but others only in audio. I talked to Mr. Sandusky about some of his activities with children of Second Mile. I think that some people think taking a kid overnight trips to a game, being in a shower with a kid that isn't your own, that has been alarming to some people, those facts. And I think what I heard you say is you didn't see it as like somebody else's kid. You saw it more like these kids are part of my family. Is that?
And they, so many of them would say that.
But is that?
That was a mutual feeling,
Jerry Sandusky's sex abuse scandal has already cost Penn State University more than $92 million. The shocking dollar figure, up from the original $60 million, was made public at the same time it was revealed Penn State could still face claims for 6 or more alleged victims, NBC News reported. Sandusky, 71, is spending 30 to 60 years behind bars when he was found guilty in October 2012 of abusing 10 boys over the course of 15 years. The longtime defensive coordinator of legendary Lions football coach Joe Paterno used his Second Mile charity for trouble kids to find and identify his victims. Many of the assaults took place at Penn State Athletic Department facilities. The convicted pedophile claims he is innocent of all charges and is trying to seek trial, but he did admit to showering with boys, but he said he never molested them. NBC News, citing documents of universities published this week, reported that Penn State has spent more than $92 million in the last 2 years on settlements and related costs of the Sandusky scandal. The $92.8 million paid or set aside for 32 claims, according to a financial statement released by the university this week, includes the $33.2 million related costs on top of what it's been reported previously. The losses of this case with Sandusky and Penn State were tremendous. Numerous men offended and attacked by him filed against Sandusky and Penn State itself for trying to cover up the truth about abuse. On top of it, Sandusky lost his Second Mile organization, families, love, and trust, public recognition for football athletics and skills. He lost his career too, ability to even achieve a career, but most importantly, his freedom, being behind bars at such an old age as well. This tragic event finally stopped to make sure no other boys could be harmed and abused. Penn State now is a great team with a greater coach, and there are no more corrupt employees at Penn State hiding secrets that are tremendous just for football power to have Sandusky. After long trials of Sandusky's abuse finally making way to prove he is a child predator, he is now in a large amount of lawsuits by the boys and boys' families, as well as those hiding Sandusky's secrets to keep him in the business for money and power. Oh, I forgot to hit this slide.